Welcome back, everyone. Good to see your smiling faces again. I finally did it. I broke down and did some coding to my car. After seeing a ton of YouTube videos on coding, namely Speedy Gons, if you're not familiar with his channel, I'll put a link in the description below, and from Thick F30. And if you're watching my video, I'm pretty sure you know who Thick F30 is. If not, I'll still put a link in the description below to his channel. So after seeing a ton of coding videos on people coding stuff in their cars, I thought, might as well do it, because there are some things, features on the car that I wish came from the factory, and that's what everybody says, you know, you're coding things on the car that are actually a possibility to begin with, so why didn't they come like that anyways? Regardless, it's pretty simple. It's super simple to do. It's just a matter of finding a way to connect the car, which I got this little V-Peak OBD2 connector thing, which was 32 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link to that below. And I actually already had a tablet that I could use, and I used the tablet for the coding while I watched videos on coding on my phone. But it's super simple. I coded about 20 things in a matter of maybe a half hour. For the most part, before I even started, I knew what I wanted to code. So one of the things was, you know, folding the mirrors when you lock the car, and, you know, when you unlock the car, it'll unfold the mirrors, roll the windows down, and open the sunroof. You know, one of the things that, you know, I may do here and there if it's a hot day out, but, you know, and vice versa, it will lock the car and roll the windows up, put the sunroof up when you hold the lock button. Other than that, I did the coding for the seatbelt reminder. I turned that off because I always wear my seatbelt in the car, so I don't need the car telling me that. I coded the miles per hour in the gauge cluster there, so it shows you how fast you're going. I also coded the M Performance logo to pop up on the iDrive screen. I don't remember everything. There were a bunch of them. I'll put little screenshots here in the corner so you can see what I did. I don't feel the need to show you how to do the coding because literally, if you check out Speedy Gons and check out Thick F30, it's super simple. Totally easy. The Beamer Code app was 38 bucks. It is getting more expensive, but it's because they're still working on it and still making things easier to code. My opinion, it was worth the money. You know, little features here and there, things that should have been on the car to begin with, like I said. Future mods for the car, I've already mentioned. I want to do the XHP transmission flash. But before I do that, and I strongly advise you guys do this too, do the service on your transmission before you do that. Because you're going to be upping the line pressures, you know, changing things in the transmission, putting more wear and tear on the transmission, so you want to make sure it's healthy first. Maintenance before mods. You should always do little maintenance items on your car before you throw a bunch of horsepower and, you know, different mods on it anyways. So I'm going to replace the transmission pan, which has the filter integrated into it, and fluid, bolt it all back in, that's it. I'll do the whole in-depth video on that coming up. I just have to order the part, get it in, make the video, so hopefully I can do that in the next week or so. So I've already cut some good base times of acceleration in the car. You know, I've said before, I'm on JB4 Map 7 running race gas. I still have a half tank of the fuel in here. But I did some, you know, 20 to 80 and some like 50 to 100 acceleration runs just to see how long it takes me to do that acceleration from 20 to 80, you know, and 50 to 100 to get a good baseline of where the car is now. That way, when I do the transmission flash, I can get some hard data, solid numbers to actually see if it's worth the money. Everybody already says, hey, this thing shifts so fast, you know, from gear to gear. So theoretically, the car should accelerate quicker with the faster shifting, because, you know, if you're spending less time in between gears, you should be spending more time accelerating. Does that make sense? You know what I mean. I'll do the transmission service, then do the flash, get some good numbers on the acceleration of how the car accelerates afterwards, and get that to you guys. That way you can actually see, no joke, is the car faster with the transmission flash? I know a ton of people say it is, but I want to give you hard data, good numbers, because that's how my brain works. Like, don't just tell me it's better. I want to see data. I want to see time slips. I want to know that it's actually better. I want to know that it's faster. I want to know that it's more horsepower, you know, things like that. I'm going to put a list in the description below of all the things I coded on the car. That's about it. That wraps this up. Oh yeah, there's a new BMW in the garage. Do you want to see it?
3, 2, 1, go!
Cool? Later.